The Secret Service has actually been pretty forthcoming since the resignation of Director Cheadle into what went wrong. There's assurances that accountability is coming. I made it very clear, as did other members, that accountability doesn't mean you retire with a federal pension for the rest of your career. And they did beef up resources for President Trump. Clearly, there were still failures. My issue is the lack of transparency from the FBI, who is investigating the shooter's background and the run-up to. We still know very little, next to nothing, about Thomas Crooks, his encrypted accounts, how he learned to build those IEDs, whether he coordinated with some foreign entity. And then I think there's a systemic problem that I'm pressing the Secret Service on hard. And that is they have to go to threat-based resourcing decisions. Donald Trump has threats unlike any president or former president we've ever seen. He's being demonized by the left, and he has active and ongoing assassination plots from an enemy of the United States, the Ayatollahs in Iran, two of which that we know of have already been intercepted. So you can't take what I call a cookie cutter approach. If you're a current president, you get this many resources. If you're a former president, you only get this many. Donald Trump isn't Jimmy Carter sitting in an old folks home. He needs significantly more. We're assured he's getting significantly more, but clearly there was yet another breakdown down in Florida.
Yeah. Has your investigation led you toward debunking any of the conspiracies that are already developing about what happened in Florida and certainly what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania? To me, here it is, the grassy knoll. It's an open window at the Texas School Book Depository. When you talk about that slanted roof in Butler, why wasn't that secured? When you talk about a chain link fence just yards away from where the president would be playing golf, why wasn't that secured both on the inside of the perimeter and the outside? Those just seem like obvious questions, and I don't have any of the training that you have as a veteran, certainly any of the training that members of the Secret Service have.
Look, my mind is absolutely still open, and we're digging hard as a task force. So far, it looks like gross incompetence at Butler. In Florida, I could tell you, having been around that golf course and been at it, the reason the Secret Service agent, my understanding, was clearing that particular tree line so aggressively to see a barrel poking through is that's where the paparazzi, the photographers, tend to go. And that is well known in that area. And the president doesn't like, obviously, and it's a security risk to have photographers and paparazzi there. That's point one. Point two, I think they need to take a hard look at how predictable his movements are. It's not it's not kind of a tough guess to guess that the president may play golf on a Sunday morning.
Right.
And everybody knows when that motorcade is moving through very small Palm Beach. But to have a shooter hiding there for 12 hours is pretty incredible. And then finally, I'm also on the intelligence community, and I'm taking a hard look at the foreign threats. Something is incredibly wrong here. The Iranians are very aggressive. They arrested a Pakistani national the day before the Butler shooting who was putting down payments on hitmen. And Ryan Ruth obviously had a very active and nefarious, in my view, foreign profile where he was practically begging Iran to take the shot.
Yeah, 15 seconds, Congressman. 49 days from Election Day. How concerned are you about Trump's safety between now and November 5th?
Oh, I'm incredibly concerned. And I know President Trump, he's not going to back down. He's a fighter, and he's going to continue getting out to the public. I just saw an announcement this morning that he's going back to Butler County in Pennsylvania, where the July 13th shooting happened. So he has to get the resources the threat demands, not some, whatever DHS or Mayorkas budgeted for, period.